everybody, it is Xrd64 back again today with another video. And before I begin to explain what this video is all about, even though you've probably already read the title, I'd like to say that, yes, this is the second week with a video that isn't the speedrunning video. I've been trying to get that video put together. I've been trying to get it put together for 2 weeks now. I was supposed to have it up last weekend, but shit happened, schoolwork happened, a lot of stuff that postponed me from making this video. So that video will come out this month, and I will make sure of it. It is March. I said it would be coming out in early February. So it is coming out this month. Don't worry about it. But for now, as a little filler video, and I'm actually going to break this up into 2 parts. As you read by the title, these are my favorite balloon hiding spots in Luigi's Balloon World in Super Mario Odyssey. Now, the rule set is here. These are balloons that I have both found and have come across during play time. And the second rule is that these aren't out of bounds, because I think that out of bounds balloons are for idiots and for pussies that want to break the game because they're dumb. And they're not fair. So all these balloon spots that I will be talking about today that are my personal favorite as of now, they are not out of bounds. They are what I have found or of what I have come across during playtime in Luigi's Balloon World. So yeah, in the first part of this video, I'll be going over the first half of the kingdoms, being Cap, Cascade, Lake, let me start over. It'll be Cap, Cascade, Sand, Lake, Wooded, and Metro. And in the next part, I'll cover the rest. And maybe if I'm feeling up to it, I'll do a third part covering the other kingdoms that I won't cover in the second video. But I don't know. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started with the first kingdom being the Cap Kingdom. Hope you guys enjoy this video. And yeah. So here we are in the Cap Kingdom, and as you can see at the moment, the footage kinda fucked up. But from what you can hear from the sound effects, basically, you turn around at the beginning, and you go down below and capture the Paragoomba. After that, you shake rapidly and make your way over, as the footage cuts in here right now, and make your way over to the farthest sign. And I found this, and it took me a really long time, a couple of attempts to even get over here in the first place. And I was talking with my friends in Discord about it, and they figured out that this was probably one of the worst spots to get it, even though they got an extra 10 seconds to get it. But for the next balloon, costs a lot of lives and coins. But basically, you want to start with the spin roll right there, and fly all the way over to this lone Cap ship and capture the Paragoomba. Then, once again, rapidly shake your Joy-Cons, so you can get that extra speed and fly all the way over here. And as you guessed, yes, it is on another signpost out in the middle of the open. So I tried rolling down from the beginning all the way through town and over here, and got the frog. Like, I tried so many things to get over here and nothing would work. So I looked around for a bit and found that Paragoomba, and eventually this was how I got this spot. And yeah, that is pretty much Cap Kingdom. So let's move on.
Oh yeah.
So here we are in Cascade, and this kingdom is, it's kind of bland. It's pretty much on the same level as Cap Kingdom when it comes to finding balloons and shit like that, unless it's out of bounds. But I'm not covering that. So I found 2 spots, really, and one of these spots, the first one I'm going to show, is, well, it really can be done under any single rock surface that you have to break with the dinosaur. So you'll probably get the gist of this one. But this one that I tried to do was the farthest I could possible with the dinosaur. So, as fast as possible get here to the dinosaur, because you're going to need as much time as possible. And once you capture him, you have the balloon on you, so, okay, that's cool. But what you want to do here is make your way all the way down to the beginning portion of the level with the dinosaur. As you can see, that rock structure down there below is the target. And you're short on time here, so what you want to do is break open the blocks, decapture as Mario, go over here and land right between the wall and the trampoline, which is it's viable space for the balloon, so you want to plant that there. One flaw I have with this spot is that if you break it open with a dinosaur, you might be able to get the balloon without having to decapture as Mario and go over. And you can do that under any rock. So yeah. The second one here is kind of it's not really the best, but I thought it was kind of cool. So go on the I can't speak, having a stroke. Go on this skull. Go inside this part of it and place the balloon. This one's kind of cheap and pretty easy to find if you're not 4 years old. So yeah, that's pretty much the Cascade Kingdom. You can hide balloons under any rock surface when you break with the dinosaur. But yeah, so let's move on. So this is the Sand Kingdom, and it's gigantic. There are so many good hiding spots, but some of my favorites seem to be anywhere here under the sand, because you can fall under the sand and you can actually place the balloon before you die. But for this one right here, I'm just trying to get under the sand geyser. It's actually pretty difficult because you see that it's peeking out there, and you'd think that you'd be able to go down a bit further, but then you just die. So yeah, you gotta really watch your time. But if you do manage to wait it out and do it right, you'll be able to pull off something like this. And you can do it under any sand geyser, but I just chose this one because I was bored. But if you get it off right, and you get your timing correct, it'll be poking out a bit, but you can hide it under the sand geyser, which makes for a really good disguise. And another option is going over here in this little bonus room, but not going in the room, because I see a lot of balloons hidden in the room, but instead you just hide the balloon in between the wall here, between the room and the outside. And you can hide it anywhere under that little wall, and it's kind of hard to see because you can't see it at all. Other balloons here, one's a prime example of my friend Jar. He hid a balloon in a pretty interesting spot where the moon for employees only is. But the thing is, you can't actually enter the employees only room. Although, you can go under here where the grate is, and he hid a balloon right down there, because as you can see, you can't enter employees, but you can go and get the balloon there. And I tried myself the same thing, but as far in as possible. Not there at the very corner, but as far in as possible. And as you can see, as you go past the wall here, you can't actually place the balloon. So I just came out a bit and placed it in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it with that one. The next couple here are pretty hilarious, and they all involve the inverted pyramid. And a lot of people actually seem to have difficulty trying to get this one, because they go to the top of the inverted pyramid and try and make their way down, but you can just grab glide on here and shake your Joy-Cons, because that gives glide on a bit more height, and you can manage to actually glide your way all the way over to the bottom of the inverted pyramid here and place your balloon, which is what I did, instead of going to the top of the inverted pyramid, falling down, and attempting to get in there, which is pretty difficult. And the rest of the balloons, like I said, do involve the inverted pyramid, but this time it's not on the bottom. This time it's around the edges and the outside, and you can do this on any side of the inverted pyramid for this balloon, but I chose this one where I'm going there now. So basically you just want to roll to get as much speed as possible, as you're limited on time, and just jump off the side here and angle yourself so you make your way here, and you're pretty much infinitely in a crouching position. But you can wiggle your way over to the middle or either left or the right side and place your balloon down. But I chose this far side because when most people try to jump off, they normally go and they aim towards the right side. And the middle is kind of difficult because people will dive and try to get the balloon, but they'll bonk and just fall off. And the last spot here is one of my favorites, and you can only do this on one specific side, which is the 2D section there. But pretty much what you can do is most people start where you get dropped off with the lightning wire, and they try to get over to the 2D section on the other side, but really you can just jump down like this and place your balloon at the very edge of the 2D section. But yeah, once again, that was Sand Kingdom, some of my favorite spots, so let's move on to the next one. So there's not really a lot of interesting places to hide balloons in Lake, since it's a really small kingdom and there's not really a lot of places to go besides out of bounds. And like I said before, I'm not doing out of bounds stuff. So the one trick that I found that I actually can't perform myself was where the painting is located in Lake Kingdom. Not the one by the pond, but the infamous one that the whole planet is trying to figure out how to get to. And I couldn't do it myself, so I found this video on YouTube of somebody else doing it. I'll credit them in the description. But I can't pull this trick off myself, and a lot of people seem to be hiding balloons up here because it's the only viable spot in this kingdom besides out of bounds. So yeah, that was the Lake Kingdom, even though it was pretty short. So let's move on. So here's wooded. There are a couple of really good spots in this kingdom that once again aren't out of bounds, but some of my favorites seem to be one right here where you just roll off of the side and go to this little section behind the kingdom, and once that rotating pillar goes at that angle, you put the balloon down and it actually counts as a spot where you can hide it. Once I found that trick out before on Find It, it was actually kind of difficult and I had a couple of tries to figure it out, but that's that one. And the next one here is one I found, and I haven't seen it at all in Find It before, but you want to go down to this area in the secret passageway that's also at the other side of the kingdom that a lot of people don't really know about, right here. And what you want to do is, really on any of these falling platforms, you want to go on it just before it falls down and place the balloon, so it's actually inside of the falling pillar. And I've tried this one a couple of times, and you know, as you can see here, a lot of the results are just failures. But once you manage to get it down pat, you line it up before it breaks, and eventually you'll find a time where it will break, but something like this will happen, where if you time it out, the balloon will actually stay where it was originally before it broke. But you can't really see it that well. So I did it again, but I broke the pillar, so I just tried to line it up as much as possible, and that's what it will look like. So yeah, that spot's really good. I got a couple of friends to try it out. They said it was alright. You know, not the best, like a Kaizo balloon, but it's good. For the last one here, it's all the way over in the area where you fight Spewart, but not actually on top of the area. This one I actually got Glidon for, and I took him and flew him all the way over here. Although you can get to this area a lot faster by just rolling and jumping off, since it's not that far away from the starting platforms. But instead I took the slow route. So basically what you want to do here is glide around until you get to this area, and then go on the inside and hide your balloon under there. A lot of beginner players will have a lot of trouble with this one, since the geometry of this section is kind of difficult. And that's wooded, so once again, let's move on to the final kingdom. So here we are at the final kingdom of today's video, being the Lost Kingdom. And this kingdom is also, it's relatively smaller, so there aren't as many good hiding spots for balloons. But a lot of people have done this one here before, but I figured that I would feature my friend Jar. And he's been featured quite a lot in this video, so there's your fucking shout out, idiot. But what he done here is, in that little cave area where Captain Toad is, he hit his balloon in where the heart is being guarded. So I took it upon myself to recreate this, but do it better, where I would hide it behind the tent where Captain Toad is. I thought that it would be, you know, a bit more if the balloon would blend in with the tent, but, you know, it doesn't really do that. And a lot of people will most likely go for this balloon, so it's actually pretty good. And you'll get a lot of coins off of it because people will most likely die. Beginners would most likely die trying to get there. So it's, in my opinion, I think it's pretty good. This one was also discovered by my friend Jar. Well, not necessarily discovered by him. He wasn't the first. I'd say a lot of people have done this one as well because it's pretty common for this one to happen. But basically, you take that enemy there, blow up the cage, and then hide your balloon in the cage. And yeah, he done this balloon. Jar, he done this balloon before. But by the time I went to go record it, he had changed the position of his balloon. And yeah, that's pretty much all you do there, is just you hide it in there. And hopefully people won't decide to use the Glidon to clip through the cage and get it easily. But, you know. And that was a Lost Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that pretty much does it with the first part of this video series. Next video will be up next week, I would say, I'm hoping to get. And that video will cover the remaining kingdoms that weren't covered in this video, being Metro, Snow, Seaside, Luncheon, Bowser's, and Moon, as, like Cloud Kingdom, Ruined, Dark, and Darker Side don't have balloons to find. So I'll cover the remaining kingdoms that actually have balloons to find. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, as an hour or two after I upload this video, I will be streaming there. I'll be streaming some Nintendo 64 games, notably maybe Mario 64 ROM hacks and Mario Kart 64. I know that not a lot of people will see this video in time, though, for that stream to take place, because my following is relatively short. But even if you do miss out, be sure to follow my Twitch account, though there will be a link in the description for that as well. And feel free to subscribe and ring the notification bell if you want to stay tuned for the next part in the series and more Mario Odyssey content to follow. I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and with that, this is Xord64 signing off.